Happy Hump Day, everyone. Welcome to Formula 2 here in ALR. And this is, I think, Formula 2's first European venture here in Imola. Then, of course, as we are going to now resume the battle for the Formula 2 title after a week's hiatus. And after we did not travel to Miami, did we, the Formula 2 lot? So we are back in action then for Imola tonight. And if it's anything to go by, expect drama, expect tears, expect all kinds of shenanigans in this one tonight, especially down to that turn two. There was some feisty words between the bronze drivers last night of TK and Vesio. And of course, as they were very close to the turn two. I got to say, it was very similar to Hamilton and Verstappen, wasn't it, back in 2021 there down in Turn 1. Only difference was it wasn't raining. All right, drivers in the team's championship then for Formula 2, of course. We've got the sprint, got qualifying, the sprint and the feature race here tonight. Great stuff indeed. It looks like we have a full grid as well, so which means more chaos. I cannot wait. Luke leads the Drivers' Championship, the Formula 2 Drivers' Championship, on 2 points in front of Troy. He returns tonight after a 2-race absence. Lights in third position, and difficult race last time out in Baku for Lights. Lucifer being absolutely a shining light in Formula 2. My driver of the season so far, certainly my start of the season. Siege in 5th position, I'm not sure if he's here tonight. Serious Mushroom is in 6th on 36 points. 35 for Gamer. R2 Beat also returns to action tonight on 34. Toyn Coin then a brilliant debut last time out there. He is at 9th at the moment. He's jumped all the way up to 9th and 33 points last night. Vesia, the man who's second in the Bronze Championship, currently 10th at the moment there. As goodness gracious me, here we go then. To start us on our journey then, Vintage, who's not a fan of qualifying, is he? So he is going to stick to it, and also Lights is not a fan either as we're on board Jay Higgs then as we go down into the first chicane then. Whilst we're riding on board Jay Higgs then, going through the first chicane. 11th position is Nolsey on 24 points, of course a full-time driver now in the Roland Carlin. And then we've got Hassel in 12th position on 22 points, 14 points for Martin, 12 for Reflections, 10 for Kaidao and Jenner. Bannister MIA missing in action at the moment is Bannister. I don't think actually, is he racing tonight? He is. I apologise profusely then. I think there's someone else I missed. Oh, sorry. I think I got confused with someone else. Chewy in 18th position on 4 points, 3 points for Vintage, and it's Barbara who I've got confused. He is missing in action there. No vote then, and I don't think he's racing tonight. In the team's championship, this is how it looks at the moment then. Very slender in the team's championship as well as the Carling team 4 points in front of the Campos in 2nd position. ART currently 3rd at the moment, then High Tech 1 point behind the ART in 4th position there, 26 points behind the Carling team who currently leads the way. Dams are in 5th position, and Virtuosi is 6th, MP Motorsport 7, 3 points behind the MP Motorsport is Trident. Charus Racer, remember they had no points after the opening 3 rounds of F2, now they're up to 9th, and then Prima unfortunately languishes at the back of the field in 10th position, and Toy Coin gets the first points of the race tonight, and gets pole position then for the Formula 2 feature race, which is coming up in just a jiffy. But hello to you, young lights, said in the comment section. But so 2 points then already there for Campos and for Toyn Coin. He loves this championship, doesn't he? Really good stuff indeed. Serious Mushrooms on pole position now for the sprint race coming up in just a jiffy, which I do expect that we will have some kind of rain, and whether we'll have the same weather that we had in Australia, which is an incredible sprint race in Australia. I loved it. So Toyn Coin will be on pole position for the feature race, but for the sprint race coming up in just a jiffy, then it'll be Serious Mushroom who'll be going from pole position then with Chewy alongside him, and then it'll be Higgs, Jay Higgs, and of course Sick as Muck on row 2. Looking forward to that one there. Really good stuff indeed. Anyone who qualified outside the top 10 will start in the exact same position which they finished their qualifying session, if you get the cut of my jib. Well, so I predicted rain. Well, obviously, I'd have fallen on my sword, haven't I? Well, it's more of a dagger than a sword, but nevertheless, I suppose it's still pointy. But unfortunately, I have fallen on me sharp object because there's no rain in the sprint. Maybe there might be some rain in the feature race. We had 2 wet races in gold and silver this week. We had a beautiful and incredible race last night in bronze there. Fantastic. It was such a clean as a whistle race, wasn't it, last night? A man like myself loves chaos, but I did enjoy last night's race, I must say, because of I loved last night's race because, for unusually, we had a bit of a, we had a very much a, we had very much a race of about strategical calls and very much and of course mistakes really bit you in the rear posterior. So this is the sprint then, 13 laps around here. It's quite a short circuit, isn't it? Only, I think it's 19 turns or 18 turns as we go through the first chicane. Let's go through the grid then for the sprint event then. It's the top 10 reverse and from qualifying. So Serious Mushroom, who starts first then. Chewy is alongside him on row 1. Now, Jay Higgs is having none of this, and he has flown off into the distance then. He's kind of reserve driver still, I think, Jay Higgs is, but he's basically racing every single Formula 2 event so far, sprint, all features. So good stuff indeed there. Jay Higgs, I hope he gets a full-time seat sooner rather than later. Sickers Muck in 4th position in the ART. 5th position is Martin in the Dams car. Knowlesy in the Nigel Mansell Red 5 kind of livery, which is nothing like that, is it really? But he's in the Williams livery nonetheless, and Knowlesy in 6th position now, part of the Carling setup now, albeit it doesn't look like a Carling, does it, without Williams livery. R2 Beat in 7th position now, as we've got issues on the formation lap. Then R2 Beat, welcome back. 8th position, or is it Kaidal, welcome back? Maybe both of them. 8th position, Vestia, then 9th is Troy, the championship leader in gold then, and 10th position is someone is lawnmower in the grass in the background now. 10th position is Toyn Coin, who was incredible, wasn't he, last time out in Baku? Let's see what he can do in Imola tonight. Lights in 11th position, and he has flown his way right up to second, or right to third in the championship, 5 points away from the championship leader. Lights, he dominated the Australian event now. In Baku it was a bit more difficult, wasn't it? Vintage in 12th position now. Lucifer in 13th, and as I said, my star of Formula 2 so far. Reflections in 14th position now. Jenner is currently in 15th. Bannister in 16th. Lucas Percy in 17th. 18th position is Kaida. 19th position is Luke, and Gamer is 20th and last, and 20 runners in Formula 2. Let's get going, shall we? There they are now as they line up on the grid, 13 laps around this circuit. And absolutely, as you two have got stuck in my head at the moment, it's a beautiful day. It really is indeed. Then now, can it be a beautiful day for Mushroom? Everyone on the medium compound tires there is medium or the super soft, albeit for some reason they got a purple stripe for the super soft. When I remember the super softs, it used to be the red stripe, didn't it? But they're now all lining up on the grid, and they are waiting for those red lights to come on. There'll be 5 red lights. They will come on one at a time. They will then randomly go out then between 3 and 5 seconds, and we'll be racing here in Imola then, and the start of the European season for Formula 2 is underway. Here we go, and it is a great start for Higgs there, and he is up to second already then, as look how narrow it is then going down into turn 2 then. Of course there's a pinch zone into turn 2, you have to be careful, and of course these cars there, and someone's gone right off the circuit. I think that's Chewy, isn't it? Chewy in the Charus team then has unfortunately got off, and he's dropped all the way down from third down into almost last there. I think he is last there, unfortunately, and that is a nightmare then. But it's Serious Mushroom, he keeps the lead there with Higgins now in second position there, marching up third position. Young Lights has gone up 5 positions there. Incredible start there for Young Lights. 7 positions, my goodness me, 7 positions there for Percy, 8 positions for Percy. What an incredible start there for the MP Motorsport Super Sub. Magnificent stuff indeed. Troy, who is fighting off Percy then, and now Percy is up into 9th position there with Troy down into 10th. Toyn Coin there just too far back at the moment in the Tridents there in 12th position. No, Toyn Coin's got through actually. He's not in the Trident at all, is he? As we go up the hill now, then, as you can see, look at these cars all over the show here. These are Formula 2 Mechachrome machines, and I think, are they Dallara chassis potentially, or am I just several years behind the curve, which is nothing unusual, is it? And also having a sniff on a Sickers Muck then as he goes on the inside there. Oh, goodness me then, and look at that there. That overtake there is cost Knowlesy, because look at that, he's now going to be run out wide then, almost onto the gravel, and that he's lost momentum, and here comes Bestia as well. Now Knowlesy then going from attack to defence there, unfortunately for the Englishman then, as he flies over the grid now to start lap 2 then. Mushroom then is under attack then for Jay Higgs then, but I think Mushroom has repelled that. Oh, goodness gracious me, what's going on here? Lights up into 5th position, into 4th, I should say, and Knowlesy has repelled the attack from Vestia here, but now we've got R2 Beat, who is fighting, goodness me, and Vestia is on the, has taken it there, but look left, look right there is Percy taking the position. Toyn Coin is fighting with Troy as well. It's getting very competitive in the midfield. Remember though that remember you can't just storm away, can you? And of course in the and who's that off in the foreground? That's Kaidal, I think, in the Prima Motorsport machine. It is indeed. Toyn Coin, have a look there, but Troy has got the 10th finish there. It's the top 8 that scores. So it's old school for the opening race, and of course it's the top 8 that scores. If I remember, it's that from between 2003 to 2008. It is 10 points for the Grand Prix win, or for the sprint race in this actual instance, and it will be oh my goodness me, and Nosey, and look at that then, he's just really helped Percy. Nosey strong to get on the power, and now Percy has taken 2 positions there, as lovely stuff indeed there. Now Nosey though is going to have to get more defensive. Lights has flown through the field beautifully well, and at the moment he's taken the lead in the Drivers' Championship if things stay as they are. Nosey then, who is same place as it was before, and Cirrus Mushroom is setting another fast lap. Cirrus Mushroom out in front doing some seriously good work. I love it. Fantastic stuff there from Mushroom there. As Nosey, I think, is good. Oh my gosh, now look at that then. Goodness gracious me, you've got 3-4 cars there. And is that going to go into turn 1? Then that's going to get very, oh my goodness me. And somehow they've kept it together. I have no idea how. But Vessier is yellow flag in sector 1. It is reflections of the circuit in the MP car. And who's that? Is that Troy? No, that's Toyn Coin siming up the order. And in 12th position, now he's dropped down into 12 now because R2B is through. And who's that down on the inside? That's Gamer having a look on the inside then. And as he got the position, he has that. Oh, Toyn Coin then, who's having an incredible scrap so far, but no points for these drivers at the moment as they go over the crest of the hill. And who's that on the inside? That's Jinner on the inside having a look there. Toyn Coin's off the circuit. He's been forced wide. Jinner having the 13th there. A bad couple of corners then for Troy. For Toyn Coin, yeah, there's too many T's in this race at the moment. But unfortunately for Toyn Coin, down into 14th position there. This is an incredible battle though. Nosey was at the cork in the bottle, so to speak, but he sprints off down the road now. And so there's a bit of a gap now, but this Vessier is the cork in the bottle. Here is Percy having a sniff, not quite. Then the Martin in 5th position there, doing a good job once again. He did a great job in Baku, if I remember rightly, but that was almost 2 weeks ago, so that could be absolute poppycock here. Lights set no fast up the race and flied out there on the road. As he lights it there now, he is now within DRS range of Jay Higgs, who's currently second moment. He's been left for dust then. Here comes Percy then. We've also got Troy in the background as well. Look at that then. So Percy up into 5th position, passes Martin. What about in this background here? Oh, R2B then is going for it. He's done it. But Luke then is going to go. Is he? No, he isn't. That is R2B defending the whole of the track there. He does not want to yield, does he, this 10th position at the moment. Oh, goodness gracious. Cirrus Mushroom's had issues there in the opening sector. He's lost almost a second there somewhere. So the lead for Cirrus Mushroom has been cut in half there in one sector alone. Then let's see how this one transpires. Of course, there's no toys on these Formula 2 machines. There's no ERS deployment, no electrical deployment. Now, Sick as Mug has dropped down into... Oh, he's off the circuit as well. And that's going to entice Martin here. Martin, though, has got all kinds of problems of his own. And as who's that? Is that Lights? He's up in the second position. Lights passes Jay Higgs. And now then, Kazzy got the pace then to catch Cirrus Mushroom, who's got a gap of 1.2 seconds there, as his former 3-second penalty there for Lucifer, as his former lead then of about 1.2 seconds has been recovered then. Oh, Jay Higgs got a 3-second penalty. That's going to be crucial. Penalties was quite crucial earlier in the races gone by in Formula 1, and it could be the same here in Formula 2 as well. Nosey is using his teammate as a bit of a slipstream here, isn't he? And now here comes the DRS of Troy. And Troy, oh goodness me, he's glancing to the other side of the road there. I wonder why he was doing that for. But he's up in 6th position nonetheless. Passes Martin, who is now on 2 points there in the Dams car. Albeit it looks like his teammates are Troy, isn't it? But he is just a part of the Red Bull. Driver Academy. I don't think he is he? But that's one thing I don't like. I do like my livery speed quite perfect. And so in Formula 2, of course, some cars are decked out in Formula 1 liveries, which I don't mind to a certain degree, but I wish that, but I kind of wish though that the both cars matched each other. But that's just me, and that's just me being grumpy on this Wednesday afternoon. I shouldn't be grumpy because it's hump day, isn't it? Here's Vessier. as he's just keeping a watching brief now. So the gap is down to 5/10 of a second at the front then. J Higgs and Vesser almost into the back of Nosey then, and because Fig Archie Beat is also all over the back of him as well. Goodness gracious me, they're not giving each other any room for manoeuvrability here, are they? Lovely. And oh, it's our side down the inside. It is for Luke there. But at the moment, Luke, who is the championship leader in Formula 2, he is in 11th position now, doing a great job to get himself up into 11th there. Both Gamer and Luke have made up an abundance amount of positions there, but Lights is the man at the moment so far, up into 2nd position. And I don't even know what I said there. I wasn't really, I'm so confused about what's going on. It's fantastic. Back on board, knows that first he set the pass on the race, and as he's flying through, and Serious Mushroom has lost the lead there, because here is Young Lights takes the lead of the sprint race. He's gone from 11th on the grid there. Magnificent performance. Troy also now starting to make waves as well in this race, and he is now up into 5th position there. Brilliant driving up and down the field there. Some drivers are really starting to make some maneuvers here, and then other drivers are really struggling, aren't they? So part of the DRS tech train potentially. Kai Dow is fighting at the back of the field here with his teammate Bannister. Kai Dow having a struggling incident to get to grips with this Prima car, but he is now right behind Vintage then, as Bannister has got a bit wide there. Chewy in 90th position in Reflections, who we've seen earlier on. Oh, Serious Mushroom, that's a costly error, I think, for Mushroom. He's usually very good without not getting any penalties, but this could cost him a lot of positions here. Lights leads by almost a second. He's almost out of DRS range already. And of course, Formula 2 also has DRS range as well. Martin got penalties as well. The penalties are starting to really rein in now. There are the penalty situation there. Sick as muck there. Oh, goodness me. Was that a tap there from Vessier to Martin? I don't know, to be fair. It just looked a bit wayward, didn't it? R2 Beat is now going Lionel Stern then with who's that with Luke then, the championship leader, of course there. So Luke's got a lot to lose here. He's gonna go on the outside, but he's now unfortunately had to back off there, or fortunately for R2 Beat, but unfortunately for Luke then. Luke almost into the pits there. He doesn't want to go into the pits. He's got a 3-second penalty as well, doesn't he? Going over the grid, Hatchins there on lap 7 of 13. Goodness gracious me, this race is flying by. Knowles here has got some DRS and just in front of us, and look at this, and that's his Vessier up the inside. Passes Martin, he's gone in deep there. Martin trying to go on the outside, trying to go on the inside. Yellow flag in sector 1. It's Jenner off the circuit, and now Martin back through Vessier. I'm not sure if he had a squirrel or if Martin was a permanent position he didn't want to be a part of there, but Vessier's gone from 8th to 10th, and now maybe even down the order further. Sickers Marcus dropped down into 7th position. This is the battle in the background here, and Luke is now past Gamer, goodness me, and Gamer now on the inside. Yes, he's done it there into Acrominerali. I'll get there eventually. And I think I'm in the wrong part of the course anyway. I think this is Acrominerali, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. Jay Higgs now dropped down to 4th position there, because Percy now in the 3rd down flying through. I don't think Percy's got any points on the board, or if he's only had low scoring points so far. So this is Percy's best result of his career so far. He is about 7/10, 8/10 of a second behind Serious Mushroom in the battle for 2nd position there. Lights is about 2 seconds up the road here, and Gamer and Vessier both in the high-tech cars there, not giving each other much room at all. And then look at Gamer, they got it deep, then forced Vessier off the circuit. Goodness gracious me. And I've got to say then, that's between teammates. Good heavens, Vessier's going to be shaking his fist up at his teammate there, and he probably won't appreciate that. Here comes Toyn Coin now. He might be able to get some points here, because look, they're sick as muck on 9 points on 9 seconds over for penalties now. R2 Beat is now doing for this there. Toyn Coin up the inside track position there. He needs to make sure he slowed the car down. He has, but here comes Luke as he comes back out. Toyn Coin now, and he's now alongside then. Is he gonna have a look then? Oh, they're almost rubbing wheels there. Goodness me. As I think Luke there very much getting very aggressive there, but unfortunately for Luke, he is still in 12th position there. Penalties are raining in now, aren't they? 9 seconds for Sick as Muck, 6 seconds for Jay Higgs. I think those two drivers there are going to be feeling the pinch in this one later on. Over the crest of the hill, then Bannister off the circuit. Unfortunately, the background there, just at the exit of the Villeneuve chicane there for Bannister. He's down in 20th position there. Big disappointment indeed there. Serious Mushroom there is Percy's up into 2nd position there. Mushroom couldn't defend there, and he has dropped down the order, and Troy has been on on a mission here, and here comes Troy. Now, goodness gracious me, the calling machine, the calling driver there who we haven't seen for the last two races in Formula 2 is up into third position. Magnificent stuff indeed there for Troy. Jenna got past who? It's got past Vessier as well. And up into 17th position. Magnificent. Absolutely incredible. I've stubbed my toe. I've got to sit down. I've hurt myself. Troy, lap 9, third position there. Has he got the pace to get after Percy? More crucially, he's in the DRS. There he is. DRS can be quite powerful around here, but it also can be quite detrimental as well. Here's Martin and Gamer. Both 3 seconds of penalties. Yellow flags in the background there. Martin is trying, but I think that is going to end in tears. It has for Martin. Toyn Coyne there is now going to use the momentum there. But as a balancer out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately, it's not going to be a safety car. It's very late on. Luckily, though, all the cars are bunched to the other side of the circuit, so they can get that car removed, the banister and the Prima. And yes, we have not got any safety cars then. So yes, we're carrying on here. Alta Toza then. So Toyn Coyne currently at this moment in time will get a point then for the man who is where is he? He's at 9th in the championship at the moment there, isn't he? But he'll be flying up the order. Nonetheless, he flew up the order after just one race, didn't he? Toyn Coyne did. Really announced himself on the ALR stage in incredible style, didn't he? In Baku 2 weeks ago. Magnificent stuff indeed there. Here's Luke, who's the current championship leader down the order. Jay Higgs is struggling now, isn't he? Because Knowlesy's back up into 5th position now. Good stuff indeed there for Knowlesy in the carling machine. No penalty for Knowlesy either. And currently, at the moment for Knowlesy, I think he can go course for a podium, you know. Good stuff indeed there. Maybe a double podium here for the carling cars. And we'll see how that one transpires. Currently in 8th position, and hopefully I'm a bit of a low at the moment there. Well, of course, we've got another race to come. Of course, we've got the feature race, which I can't remember how many laps it is. I think it's 17, 18, something like that. Jay Higgs is speeding in the pit lane. What's happened to Jay Higgs then? I wonder if he's got damage or something there, but this sprint race, you do not need pits. It's not mandatory pit stops in this race. So Jay Higgs has got penalties and now has been hung strung as well. He's in the pits, and I think we'll see the super softs going on there for the Charus. But both Charus at the back of the field, unfortunately. Lights is leading there, but Persian second with Troy in third position there. What is this battle here? And once again in the field of chicane, Luke is past Martin. Martin is having none of it though, is he? He might come back at him once again in the Dams car. Oh, right up there. Of course, we've seen in the bronze race, I can't remember who it was now. Irvine, I think, tapped the back of one of his competitors. I think it was Dylan, wasn't it? Which unfortunately cost him the race win in the end, didn't he? With that additional penalty, which Ultimate Beast there picked up the race win. Very good indeed there for Ultimate Beast there. Up to that point now, Ultimate Beast has had a nightmare of season so far, hasn't he? Very interesting now to see some drivers are just struggling and there. Some drivers who I thought would be doing well have been struggling, and other drivers have really shown their mettle right early from the get-go in this very early stage of the Formula F1 23 lifespan then. Vessier there very much ragging the old rev limiter there in the high tech. I think he's probably feeling a bit aggrieved with his teammate now up into 8th position. Him down in 12th, of course. At this point of the circuit here, he got run out wide, didn't he, by a Gamer, which I must say, I think that the high tech team are not going to be too impressed with that, are they? Well, I think that very much fighting too now, but Formula 2 is not really much about teammates, is it? It's every driver for themselves. Lucifer is having a very unusual quiet event so far in 13th position. He's a very spectacular driver in these Formula 2 cars, but Lucifer's struggling at the moment now. Martin is struggling, Martin really struggling, I think that very much Vessier almost got caught out there, and now Lucifer trying to have a look down, but it'll be very, you'd have to, Vessier would have very much had to give him, oh, and he's at the inside! Oh, not quite then. As Martin there slamming the door shut on the toes of Vessier in 12th position there. He doesn't have any penalties there. Vessier does that. Toyn Coyne has now made his way up into 9th position there, and he is all over the back now of Gamer. Toyn Coyne is really kept. I wonder if he's kept his tires very much in the very much in good working order. The sun is starting to hide behind the clouds, and Troy has still not got past Percy. Yeah, to goodness me, Toyn Coyne having a look there on the outside, and I think that I don't think Gamer saw him there, did he? Goodness me. We now got a yellow flag in sector 2. It's one of the I think it's one of the Charus cars. I think it was one of Oh my goodness me. I think it was Chewy and now Lucifer. I'm going to look there. Contact, contact, more contact there. And that looked very messy indeed. I'm not sure if there's also a bit of connection issues. But Vestier in the same corner again and has had issues there. And he's not going to be too impressed with that, I don't think. Gamer up into 7th position now. Down into 8th there goes Sick as Muck then. Sick as Muck does have 9 seconds of penalty. And look how dark it's got all of a sudden. And that is, it's a very unique weather system around Imola, isn't it? So drivers may be looking up into the sky. We've got 2 more laps to go in this race, so we shouldn't expect any time. And there is the rain, and the rain has come. I think, yeah, we got rain on the cockpit here. Toyn Coin and contact, and that's going to be bad news for Toyn Coin because Gamer didn't go, sir. And that is very unlucky. Sick as Mug spun Gamer around. Toyn Coin was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that is a bitter blow then. Both ART cars have now got 9 seconds of penalties. And where the rain may have slightly affected Sick as Muck braking point now, but it's very, I don't think the rain would have affected them too much. Kaida's made his way in the 13th position now. Lucifer in at 12th there. How bad is this rain going to get then? I don't think it's going to be too bad then. There's no intermediate tyres in Formula 2. It's right from slick to wet tyres, and that is it. No bridge in between. So I think that so I don't think we're going to see any intermediate tyres. Remember any wet tyres? I remember what happened in Australia. It was incredible, wasn't it? Oh, and Higgs is off the circuit, and yeah, he's retired from the session. There is the car. It looks like it's just about got going there, but Jay Higgs having a nightmare race in the Sharoos team, and unfortunately down into 19th position now. Lights leads the way with Percy in 2nd position, 3rd position. It is Troy Knowlesy now in the 4th position. Now Knowlesy a bit too far back now to maybe sneak into the podium then. Cirrus Mushroom there is actually in 5th position at the moment because there's more yellow flags out there. I think that's Jay Higgs' car just getting moved from the track side here. Martin there potentially could get some points. Vestier trying to recover for again. Look how wet the track's got already around here. Good gracious alive. If we had if this rain came in the feature race, I think we would be thinking about going on to the wet tyres maybe. But as it stands at the moment, it is still there's no point going on the wet tyres now. But this is a very action-packed end to a very fast and furious sprint race here tonight. Here comes Lights over the brow of the hill for Young Lights then as well, and this will be Young Lights' 3rd race win of the season, and this will be a 2nd race win in a sprint race. And who is that? That's Percy struggling, and look at that, and he is drifting from goodness me, and that's a very unusual sight to see. Oh, Nose has got a 3-second penalty. That's well, I don't think that's going to hurt him too much, is it? Out of the fun, look at Lights, and look at how he's disappeared. Goodness me, well, now he's back on the circuit. Lights now has just all of a sudden. And Percy takes the lead there, but I don't know where Lights went, but he's went to this front round then. Lights still won this race then, but if that penalty right at the end there, that penalty for Percy may have cost him the race win there. And reflections there, recovering back onto the track there. Toyn Coin is, goodness me, we got oh my gosh, we got a drag to the finish here. And I think Luke ain't going to keep that position there, I don't think. But depending on how far behind everyone else is, Luke might be able to scrape 8th. He has scraped 8th, the championship leader has. That's a great recovery drive. Lucifer off the circuit, and the rain at the end of this race has very much completely changed that race on its head there, didn't it? Oh, well, I wouldn't say completely changed the race there, but it certainly threw a cat amongst the pigeons there. But it is Lights there, his 3rd race win of the season, and his 2nd sprint race as well. Then great 17 vintage just coming across the line as well. 18 finishes, 2 retirements in the sprint here in Imola. As Luke saying, I got a point. Yes, and I got to say, halfway through that, I must say, Luke, I didn't think he was going to get a point. Now, great recovery, and like saying, the game froze me on the final corner. We've seen that, haven't we? He Lights went into a different dimension there, and it almost cost him the race win there. He would have been furious if that was the case, wouldn't he? Because that would have been absolutely horrific, to say the least there. But luckily for Lights, he did take the win, his 3rd race win of the season, and that has catapulted him to the top of the driver's standards in Formula 2. Magnificent. But there is still one more race to go here. That is the feature race here in Imola. I cannot wait. Final classification then from the sprint here tonight then. And it is Lights who won in the end, then they're very lucky in the end because what a great race that could have turned into absolute tragedy. But he won. He's his third race win of the season. Troy got second today. Great coverage for Troy. Percy from 17th to third and also passes up as well. Nosey great to fourth as well. Archie beat a brilliant fifth. Serious Mushroom in sixth. Toyn Coin got seventh. Luke somehow got eighth position there. With those 9 seconds of penalties, Martin just outside the points in 9th and Gamer in 10th, Vester 11th and Civil War in the high-tech team. Then 12th, Kaidal, Sick as Muck 13th, Jinner 14th, Lucifer 15th, Chewy 16th, Vintage 17th, Reflections 18th. 2 retirements of Jay Higgs and Bannister out of the sprint race, unfortunately, as we go into the feature race as well. Then Formula Woo from Nosey. As I'd like saying, let's go. I assume that I think he has taken in the Formula 2 Championship, hasn't he? Which I think was, I think it's been Troy was leading this championship right up until Baku, and then, of course, Luke took the lead from Baku to here, but and now Lights is taking the lead as well. Very, very intense, this Formula 2 Championship battle. Once again, we got beautiful sunshine, but remember in the sprint, we had beautiful sunshine right at the beginning, and it completely changed on its head, didn't it, the weather? So if that happens again in the feature, then we will be seeing the wet tires. How quickly that track went from wet, completely dry to completely wet. My goodness me. That really threw a curveball, didn't it, amongst the drivers. And now then we've got a 20-car field once again. Then the old medium tires to start this race. This time you will need a pit stop, a mandatory pit stop. And I'm surprised none of the drivers there potentially was going to go for a faster tire strategy, maybe down the field there. Well, I'll say a faster tire, start on the faster tire, maybe start on the super softs there, and then go to mediums. Then, whilst the rest of their competitors would have been on the mediums there, they could have gone for a major undercut, but they would have been a bit vulnerable towards the end of this race. However, that may also tell me that maybe there's a weather front coming in, just like what we had in the sprint race potentially. Right, Toyn Coin's already got 2 points into his account. He's actually got 4 points into his account after the sprint. He's got 2 points. He got 2 points in the sprint, 2 points in qualifying for pole position. Now can he get the full shebang of 26 points in this one there? Well, 25 that he'll be hoping for, but he's on pole position there. Toyn Coin is, and this is Toyn Coin's second pole position in a row. Of course, he got pole position in Baku 2 weeks ago, so good stuff indeed there for Toyn Coin. Alongside him on row 1 is Troy. Very interesting stuff then. Troy was pretty impressive then in the opening couple of rounds, and Troy has missed the last 2 in Formula 2, but he's back with a vengeance here tonight in the Carling. Third position is Vessier, and of course him and his teammate clashed in the sprint. Vessier is probably going to be quite hot under the collar after what happened in that then, so the high-tech team now, very much civil war between those 2 drivers there. Interesting stuff then. R2 beat in 4th position there with Nosey in 5th. Good drive for Nosey last time out there. Martin, a great qualifying in 6th position there. Can he stay there? Sick as Muck in 7th there with Jay Higgs there. Nightmare sprint just a minute ago in 8th there. Chilliam 9th position there. Hopefully the Charouse team can keep up the pace there. Serious Mushroom there in 10th position in the second Campos there. Lights in 11th there. Great performance there for Lights to get his 3rd race win of the season. 12th position is Vintage with Lucifer in 13th there. Reflections, Nightmare in 14th last time out there, but let's see how he goes. And Jinner in 15th. Bannister 16th. Percy is doing his best. Was it Alan Prost that spun off there in the 88, 89 or 1990 Group? I can't remember. Or was it 1991 or 1990? Can't remember. Kaidal in 18th position there. Luke in 19th position. Got a point there, Luke did. He is the championship leader at the moment. Gamer in 20th. And who is that just flown by? Was that Percy? Goodness gracious me. 18 laps in around Imola. As you can see then, this is the calm before the storm here then. We're on lap 2 already somehow. Ignore that counter then. Lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a pause. Let's go! And I can't see what's happening in the front then, but just assume that it's close now. It's very close now, but Toyn Coin leads the way. But Troy and Toyn Coin, thank goodness we are fully going to come into each other. But Toyn Coin leads that. Perfect, as you like there. Down in turn 1, it gets very squeezy in turn 1. It's very tight, it's very nipping now. And look, then Troy's all over the back and yellow flag in the background. It's Vintage at the back of the field there. Toyn Coin is very much under the cosh right from the get-go here. Troy is all over the campus here, and he is going this way and that way. But Toyn Coyne there, very early in his career, will not be deterred here. Then Troy then coming up the hill, out of toes there. Look at that. Then this is going to get very interesting. The drivers at the front of the field have absolutely gone away from this race and fighting very, very hard indeed over first and second there. We aren't going into Delta so far, but sick as well jumping down the order. We got Jay Higgs, who's lights once again flying through. He's having some very good starts here tonight. Like him in the sprint race, he's got up a competition already. Troy having another look then into the chicane at the top of the hill. Then no dice at the moment there. And now then it's a very very squeezy into the chicane there. Of course, it's one by one then, isn't it? And who is that then? Who is that all over the case? And it's Serious Mushroom and Percy, very much Percy all over the case of Mushroom now. Up the inside goes, I think that's Jay Higgs, isn't it? I think that is Jay Higgs there, but Lights is now going to go for a switch. I think he has gone for a switch. And now up into yellow flag in the background. There's a big off between Gamer and I think that's Kai Dow. And Gamer has got a 5-second penalty for that, I believe, unless I read the wrong way around then. But that is not good at all. And now is Lights up into 7th position there. As Jay Higgs there is going to have to yield the position there, isn't he? And he has done there. But major issues in the back there. Gamer, 5-second penalty, and he's out of the race. Gamer is that is disappointment there for Gamer. Out of the Grand Prix. A bit of a nightmare event here in Imola there for Gamer. That is such a shame then, of course, for Gamer. On board with Percy and all over the back. A serious rush once again. A gap in the front. 5/10 of a second as they start to calm down here. Percy up the inside, out to the left-hander. He takes 10th position. He's in the points, and it's the top 10 that scores points this time around then. Percy up 7 positions. Lights up 4 positions. Well, goodness gracious me. Drivers that don't really hang around, do they, at this stage of proceedings? Toyn Coyne 4/10 of a second back at the moment, but look at this. It's Toyn Coyne, then it's Troy, then we got Vessier and R2 Beat all over the back now. Vessier who's oh goodness me, Vessier then who hasn't got the pace of the front two just at this moment now. And then we got Sigurd Mug, who is trying to fend off Lights. Luke up into 12 positions. Remember, Luke is Luke is very much was leading the championship. He's down in 12th position mode. A horror show qualifying now for Luke, which is very much behind the 8 ball. That's the problem with F2. If you have a bad qualifying, it very much sets you up for 2 difficult races. Doesn't it? Toyn Coyne has set the fast lap of the race there on lap 3 here out of 18, and the Percy up into 9th position. No penalties just yet. Hopefully that will stay the same. Then penalties are brutal around here. Here comes Lights up to 6th position. Lights is flying in that Virtuosi car, isn't he? So very good 17th there for Lights. Lights has started 4 races this season, and really in all 4 of them he has been quick, and once again he's shown himself very quick again. DRS is now available. There is Lights there, 11th on the grid, is now right in the thick of things already in this race there. 2.5 seconds between the top 2 and the rest of the field then, but I think that Toyn Coyne and Troy are going to be very worried about Lights' pace here at this stage of proceedings then, because that is hot pace indeed there for Lights then. Going for his 4th race win in the opening races here. Of course, he's already got 3-2 in the sprint. Of course, he won here earlier on then, and of course, he got a feature race win in Australian Albert Park. And everyone is very much within DRS range, apart from Martin, who's dropped off the back of Percy, and also the front 2 of Troy and Toyn Coyne then just out as far out front. 6 Mug does have a 3-second penalty, unfortunately. Keep an eye on those weather, on those clouds up there. This is one race where even though it looks quite nice and dry out there, rain could come almost anywhere at you. Very much like Spa, isn't it? The rain can come at you any part of the circuit. Toyn Coyne flying out there at the moment. Lights is now starting to stalk Knowlesy. There he is in the background. R2 Beat is going to stalk Vessier. Steaks, well, he doesn't stalk him, he flies past him and up into 3rd position. Vessier down to 4th at the moment there in the high tech there, as Serious Mushroom is broken back into the top 10 here in the 2nd Campos car. He has gone wide then. Can Martin have a go up and under here? Not sure, but Luke also wants to strike what's the higher and toss as well. 1 retirement so far. Gamer out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately, out of the feature race, I should say. Lucifer having a look as well. Lucifer very quiet in this race so far. Lights in Knowlesy fighting there. Nolsey has got the momentum there. However, Lights does have the inside into the next left-hander, but Nolsey not having any of it. Then Vessier having a sniff on the outside of R2 beat. Then Nolsey has dropped down now because look, Lights on the outside there. Nolsey is not giving up though. He's going back on the inside. He's going to wow! How did they not make contact? It's beyond me. Fantastic. I thought when Nolsey hit the inside curve, I thought he was going to understeer into Light 7. No, nothing whatsoever. Vester got caught red-handed there, unfortunately. He was on board of it when that 3-second penalty was popped up on screen now. Vessier, unfortunately, that is going to be painful later on this race. Lights now for the 5th position there. That man is a machine at the moment there. Absolutely incredible stuff. Percy doing a great day. This is his best Formula 2 performance so far of his season. Doing a great job in that MP Motorsport. He's loving the orange Dutch team then. And now, of course, driving the Filip Drugovic car. Percy is, of course, which won the F2 in this year. And he's now up into 7th position there. Great stuff indeed there. Vessier having a look, but he's too far back at the moment there. But this battle here, look, there we just did a flash of Troy in the carling. He wasn't flashing, he was in the carling, but it's now 4.5 seconds up the road there. Jay Higgs has got a penalty. That's 3 drivers with penalties so far. Back on board with Vessier. He's another driver. He is the 3rd driver with the penalty so far, but Vessier, of course, needs to keep a clean head now, doesn't he? Needs to keep a precise head because it's a long race. This one is well, I say a long race, only 18 laps there, but this race is going to be, they're going to be feeling this one by the end of this one. Martin, who's got through past no, Lucifer's got past Martin. Martin is trying to use the momentum now. Luke has dropped down a position since we last looked at him. Luke's 2nd in the championship now. A difficult qualifying, as I said, for the former championship leader, and at the moment is not making much headway in this very tight and very very I don't know what word I'm looking for. I've forgotten what word I am. Shocking behaviour, isn't it? It's a very tight and a very competitive, that's the word, very competitive midfield here. But Lucifer, now, has he got the pace then to stretch away from this battling quartet here? I think it's more than a quartet. There's Reflection also involved in this battle as well. Lights is now 4/10 of a second back from Vessier. He is about halfway down the start-finish straight. I think he might be a bit too far back to challenge, I say that, to challenge going into turn 2. But he was not too far back. Percy, there he is, Percy through, and I think that's Higgs also getting past Sigismund as well. Luke and Martin there. Oh, Martin's gone deep then. Percy's got a penalty. Martin's gone deep there. Jinner trying to sneak through as well. Very, goodness me. Now Martin is going to have to start to get really defensive if he wants to keep this 13th position there. We've seen in the sprint race as well. I wonder if Martin's a bit too hard on his tyres around Imola here. Jinner just a bit too far back at the moment. Having a look on the inside. Jinner is of course, doing a great job in silver at the moment, isn't he? F2 hasn't been too much to write home about Jinner in the 2nd Virtuosi car, but it's great to see Jinner very much applying his trade in a different formula. So it's really good to see that. Back to this battle for third here. Then it's the final podium spot at the moment now. And look at that then. So then we got Beat, we got Vessier, Vessier, Lights then. Now we got Percy about 2 seconds back. Well, 2.5 back. Then Knowlesy, Kaidal's got a penalty. So is Sigismund. That's Sigismund's 2nd penalty here tonight. Oh dear. And then we got Knowlesy and Higgs is about 4 seconds back at the moment, but Sigismund there very close to the back then of the Charouz car, but unfortunately not close enough then. And as you can see, then we've got a bit of weaving now then, because RTB wants to try and minimise his DRS then. He's done a good job so far, RTB then, to very much repel the attack of Vessier, and once again showing it's very similar to Silver with I think it was the Ferrari, wasn't it, of Ultimate Beast. Very quick on that back straight then, and it very much hurt. It very much hurt the chase and pack. I think Dylan was trying to get past for a very long time, wasn't he? It very much hurt Dylan, the championship leader for Silver, couldn't get past Ultimate Beast there, who had a very slippery Ferrari, and one of RTB has got just might have a better run than, of course. In terms of the setups, then I think they're all limited to exactly the same setup. So this is racing at its purest here tonight, and my goodness me, it's been incredibly entertaining race so far. That is like that in every. Sick as muck in Higgs going getting very animated there, wasn't they, between the two drivers there. And now Cirrus Mushroom would like to get past Sick as Muck. Sick as Muck has gone wide then, and unfortunately track extension there. He's now off the circuit, Sick as Muck, as he's come on there, and Lucifer has pinched that final point playing position at the moment there for Lucifer, and that's the first time I think he's been in the points tonight then. So a bit of a difficult weekend here for Lucifer thus far, but this is where the big points are awarded in the feature race. So it's not all over yet. We ain't even a half distance yet. There's a long way to go in this one. Look at like I said, we've seen at the early stage of that lap that Vestia did make a mistake, didn't he? Coming out of Mirabeau, and oh gosh, there, and look at this, and it's Vestia just giving Lights a squeeze there, but Lights is going for it. He's having a look there, but Vestia, there's contact there, rubbing wheels and banging wheels there, and now he's gone up the inside. Remember, that's where Vestia ran wide earlier on in this lap then, which I think is very much pulling behind the 8 ball. More contact between Lights and Vestia, and Lights is trying to get past here. Vestia is not going to wave him through. Oh my goodness me! And now going on the inside then. Lights is getting very aggressive here, and Lights are trying to get on the power, but he just couldn't, could he? And that battle has now allowed Percy into the DRS range of these two drivers, and look who's just got away there. R2B will be loving this, won't they? Lights, Vestia is just not going to wave Lights through here, is he? And this is also helping the front two, so I think the Lights there, most of this race, I think he has been the quickest driver out there, but he has been behind the 8 ball because of his qualifying performance there, and down in 11th position. Accelerating away here. Goodness, Lights got so much more traction, so much more confidence under acceleration, doesn't he? Than Vestia there. And look at this, once again, this way and that way. Oh, into the first Ravazza here, and Vestia, oh goodness me, Vestia's gone wide there. He's, I think he was car watching Vestia potentially, but unfortunately, I think he was watching what Lights was doing there, and the misjudged his braking point and has dropped down 2 positions there. But unfortunately for Lights, he's now got Percy to contend with here. Let's see what Percy's pace is in the MP car, but he's been very quick so far in this one. Vestia has just about kept in front of Knowlesy in 7th position. Now, Knowlesy's got no penalties, of course. Very much similar to Cirrus Mushroom. Those two drivers don't get many penalties often. And Cirrus Mushroom, talking of the mushroom, he is up into 8th position now. Jay Higgs there has become a bit of a cork in the bottle here, haven't they? As there's a big gap now between Knowlesy and in 7th position, and it was Jay Higgs. Now Cirrus Mushroom in 8th position, and 7.2 seconds the gap as well. Half distance here in Imola. Here in Imola, of course, this is our last 9 laps of Imola. I hope you've all enjoyed yourselves here in Imola. It's been a it's been a cracking couple of days of racing, hasn't it, around the classic circuit. Of course, we go from one classic circuit to another. Catalunya is next week. We gotta have a look at the front two here. There they are. We'll come back to that cheeky little plug in a minute, because it's Toy Coin and Troy now going for the lead here in Imola. And now is Troy having a look at the first of the tour of Vats, that he's too far back at the moment there. But he will have DRS now. When are they going to come to the pits? Of course, there is a mandatory pit stop in this one. I thought Troy was actually going to dive into the pits. There's RTP 4 seconds back at the moment. I've not me Mike, which is not very good, as they come over the line. And I think that Troy, look at this, and he's coming through like a steam train here. Vestia has got past him. Troy has got past. Toy Coin takes the lead of the sprint, of the feature, I should say. Jay Higgs there is in the pits. We've got a couple of drivers. We've got a lot of drivers in the pits, you know. Cirrus Mushroom. Oh no! Just like what happened in Bronze there. Cirrus Mushroom. That pit lane speed limiter has been costly to Mushroom this week. Toy Coin down into 2nd now. Lights in 4th position there. Vestia is in 5th. Lucifer in 6th. So it was Lucas Percy that came into the pits, and he is on the super soft, along with Knowlesy, along with Mushroom, along with Higgs, and along with Jenner as well. Oh my word then, at the top of the hill once again then. So when are these drivers going to come up in the front two? The undercut is going quite powerful there. Of course, no tyre warmers in Formula 2, of course. But, as we just got Vintage there moving his way up to 16th position there. But, of course, of course, the undercut on here is going to be quite quick there because they are on the softer tire now, and those softer tires are going to be much quicker then to heat up and really get going. Then that's a lot of laps then that those drivers are going to have to do on those super softs then. But what are the front two going to do here? Are they going to bite the bullet coming to the pits now? Then jump whilst the jump to make sure they minimise the strategical angle here. And yes, Troy is into the pits then. Toy Coin has stayed out then, so they are all coming into the pits then. So they got to watch that pit lane speed limiter. It's a very long pit lane around here as well. There's a Vessia in the pits then. Vessia, Lights, Beat, and Troy all in the pits. Lucifer has stayed out then, so has Luke, and so has Sick as Muck. Reflections in the pits, and Kaidal also up into the points playing position, but he does need to go in the pits then. So the top 5 have stayed out here, and both ARTs, I'm surprised by that. I thought they might have split their strategies, but nope, they are sticking with it. And I know, I think that of course, if you do split your strategies, you're always guaranteed that one is right and one is wrong. So at least if you are on the same strategy, but potentially both of you could be right, or both of you could be wrong. Troy out of the pits, and now then he's going to have to step on it then, and that's a beautiful clear bit of track then. Percy, look at that! Look at that! That is why they came into the pits then. These drivers said must have. Well, I knew the undercut was going to be powerful, but good heavens above, that's incredible. Percy has jumped up into 9th position now. Troy all over the back of Bannister. This is not what Troy wanted. Toy Coin then, who is, oh, look at that then. Look at that then. Even without the tyre blankets in Formula 2, Troy has just breezed past that Bannister. That is the power of fresh tyres there. Percy up into 9th position there. Jumping R2 Beat. Jumping Lights there. Knowlesy in 12th position. Vessier down in 13th now. Sirius Mushroom in 14th position there as well. So Vintage coming to the pits there. Toy Coin a lap later. I think though that this may be a foregone conclusion that it's a very long pit lane. Here we're on board with Troy now then. So Troy got past Bannister quite quickly. We'll take a look there to see who else is going to come in the pits? So we got Lucifer, only one of the 2 ARTs coming in the pits. So Lucifer stayed out again then. So Lucifer's going to take the lead in this race. Luke has to slow down. Oh no! And Sick as Muck's got a 5-second penalty. But not only that, both ARTs cannot. Just like Formula 1, you are going to be stacked up, and it's going to be even more painful because it's 1 mechanic per tyre. This is a nightmare there for Sick as Muck. Look at that. That is painful there for Sick as Muck. And Bannister off the circuit there. Those worn tyres has really hurting there. Troy has taken the lead, but how much by? There is the gap there. Goodness gracious me. Where's Percy? Percy! Oh my goodness me! And Toy Coin there, see him coming, and Bannister out of the race there. Oh my goodness me. Toy Coin saw him come, Percy coming there, went across the track. Goodness gracious me. Defended, and I think that I'm be surprised if Toy Coin's car is not damaged, but that Percy is going to be furious at that there. That is absolutely incredible. And Percy, he's been very unlucky on this game to say the least there, but that was horrific to say the least there. Toy Coin seen him coming. He couldn't lose time, could he? But I think that is going to be taken a very dim view by the stewards, I think, on that one, because that is I think that is I think that's a bit of a no-go, that is there. As now Percy is just recovering, but I think he's an absolute shock about that, isn't he, to say the least. As Lucifer stayed out, goodness gracious me, then he's going to be very quick later on this race there. So Troy leads the way. Toy Coin in 2nd position on there with Beat in 3rd. Sorry, I've got this completely wrong. Yeah, Beat in 4th there, Lights in 5th there, Knowlesy in 6th position there. 7th is Vessier, 8th position is Sirius Mushroom, Jinner in 9th, 10th position. Oh, 5th is actually other positions. There are the positions so far. Jinner in 9th position, Jay Higgs in 10th in the world there. Lucifer is not pitted just yet. There he is. Lights is now all over the back of R2 Beat then. Thought it was longer races. Better load up me laptop, Farf saying that. Yes, get a move on, Farf. Well, I think he's in charge of the Driver of the Day award tonight, isn't he? I've got to say, it's going to be difficult to choose, but I think Lights, I think is certainly a shooting. He's been great in the sprint, and he's been great in this race as well, hasn't he? Lights has brilliant stuff indeed there. Looking up and down the order there, Troy doing it great, having a good 2 races as well. Having a good 2 races as well. It's we got yellow flags. Percy has retired from the race there. To retire from the race. I'm just watching I was looking at the wrong car then. Just taking a look then. So I think that Percy, I think it's going to be flabbergasted, to be honest. And that was pretty. To be honest, I'm not really much of a steward. I'm far from it because usually all my decisions are absolutely poppycock. To be honest, that's why I'm not allowed in the admin room. Am I? Vesser's got no 3-second penalty. But as Lucifer stayed out once again then. So Lucifer, if these tires start to fall apart, start to degrade, I think that Lucifer may have an opportunity here. But he's only going to have 5 laps to go. Troy is setting up fast on race. He's absolutely blisteringly quick now, Troy is. Troy going for his 3rd Grand Prix win then. He will be equal on the amount of wins along with Lights at the moment. And there is Lights out. Nosy a bit too far back at the moment. There is Lights now then in the virtual racing car. So we've got 3 retirements in this one. Gamer, Bannister, and Percy all out of this race at the moment. Good stuff for Vintage to stick with it. And down in the 70th position. It's been a bit of a hard race this one has there for Vintage. Look at Lights and can he get through? Then we'll take a look at the penalty situation in just a jiffy as well as we climb up the hill out of Toza. So at the moment Lucifer leads the way, but the gap is being shrunk all the time there. I keep thinking I keep looking at the wrong purple dot. I keep seeing the Vintage. I'm thinking that Lucifer is right out in front now. Whoa, is RCP going a bit wild there, but he caught at the moment. Then it's the battle for the final podium as it stands at the moment, unless of course we get a curveball in the final stage of this race then. So is I wonder if the Trident mechanics and are they going to be ready to work on Lucifer's car now? Lucifer's had a difficult race, difficult event here, hasn't he? This has been one of his more difficult races there. What has been an incredible start. Oh no, and he's got a 5-second penalty. And that is a bitter blow. We've got a couple of other drivers with penalties as well. When Farf gives me the old thumbs up, we'll take a look at the penalties then. With just 4 laps to go in this race. Lucifer's at the pits now and the Trident mechanics are going to work. This is the battle for the final podium. Then can Lights get on the podium and extend his lead in the championship? He's on the outside. He takes third position. Sweet as you like that. DRS there maybe is a bit overpowered around here, isn't it? As we got Percy got murdered again then. I got to say that it was pretty brutal to say the least there for Percy. Percy was on course at that point to get a de facto second there. Of course, he would have had a penalty or 2 wanting to contend with, but that is really it's finished his race, to be honest, isn't it, for Percy? Disappointingly enough, there's a Percy fuming at the moment, and I do not blame him whatsoever. Drive of the day then coming up now then. So it's Lights, it's Troy, it's Jenner, and it's Luke there. Get your drive of the day, folks, coming in. Go, go, go. Farf is saying there. So Farf, I think it's just that. Oh, so we've got another penalty at the moment there. That's the penalty situation mode there. Vessier 9 seconds there. Serious Mushroom 5 seconds. 3 seconds for Jitter at the moment. Jay Higgs is on 6 seconds. 12 seconds for Kaidal. 6 for Reflections. 5 for Lucifer. But he's going to be on very fresh tyres. But penalty. But speeding the pit lanes around here have been brutal this week, haven't they? We've also got Martin. No penalties because 17 seconds. Unfortunately, a lot of penalties there with Chewy and Vintage also on 3-second penalties coming across the grid as well. And so I think that RTB then trying to stick with so hats off to the top 5 who have not got any penalties at all. Lap 16 out of 18 in this race then. Of course, we had a bit of a sprinkling of rain, didn't we, in the sprint race? Very much to whet our appetite for the feature. The feature race has been very, very intriguing as there. We've had a bit of a lull towards the end of this one, haven't we? As we're just watching a couple of battles for the final point scoring positions. Here's one of them. Is contact there between Kaidal and Higgs. Higgs does have a 6-second penalty, but Kaidal does have 12 seconds. Can Reflections there maybe sneak up past these two? Well, he's got 6 seconds as well, actually, hasn't he? Reflections, but he might be able to. Also, got Lucifer, who's going to be very quick then in the last 3 laps or so, isn't he, there, to maybe catch and pass these drivers here. He's going to have a much more fresher set of super soft tyres as we go over the brow of the hill. Archie Beats very close to the back of Young Lights then is Troy leads then, going for his 3rd race win of the season. Toy Coin in 2nd position, 3rd position Lights then with RT R2 beat in fourth. Great drive from R2B and from Knowles as well in fifth position. Vessier in sixth. But look how close these two are. We see Kaidal weave from left to right very subtly. And one of feels a bit unhappy. He's on the inside now. Passes Jay Higgs out. Oh, Jay Higgs going off the circuit. And I think that Kaidal is going to be very unhappy with that there. Was that day later dollar short for Kaidal, or did Jay Higgs take the easy way out there? Well, that is certainly well, he's got 9 seconds of penalties, whatever the case may be now for Jay Higgs. But this is just more pressure now on Kaidal. And look in the background, he's in the trident. We also say, oh my goodness me! And Jay Higgs again very defensive. Pharisee is like over the start finish side. Now Kaidal is up into 10th position there, and through he goes. Jay Higgs in 11th position there. Reflections in at 12th. We got Lucifer, who's not as quick as what I thought he'd be, to be honest. I thought he would have been all over this. But I think that Jay Higgs actually got tyre problems there. He's sitting there, a bit looked like a rallycross machine there, didn't it? Well, it's got a 3-second penalty as well. So I think Jay Higgs' tyres I think he's burned him ever so slightly as he come into toes. Reflection, yeah, I was expecting Lucifer to be a bit further up than that, and a bit quicker as well. Unfortunately for Lucifer, he I think it's a bit too much of a stretch, isn't it, for Lucifer to maybe pick up a point or two in this one now, unfortunately. Can R2B get past Lights with just 1 lap to go? Knowlesy has got a 3-second penalty there for Knowlesy. At the moment, that is not going to hurt his position there, but he is another caution from Vessier, who has 9 seconds of penalties out there for. So at the moment, Knowles, as long as he doesn't lose 6 seconds in the final lap, he should be all fine. I'm talking the final lap. We are on the final lap now. Going over the grid edge there. Troy leads then by just under 2 seconds out for Toy Corners. Really put the pace down in a second position there. Lights in third position there, but if R2 beat, unfortunately not getting the position done there. But here comes Vessier, and on the outside, Knowlesy is lost the position. However, for Knowlesy, he knows then that he just got to stay within 6 seconds, and the job should be done in Destin. And a good fifth position there for Knowlesy. Jinner, a great drive from Jinner, actually. Unbeknownst to me, up into 8th position there, but Luke's going to propel himself up the order. Whoa! As Reflections there, I'm not sure if he was forced off the grass there or was taken by surprise by Lucifer. Is now up into 12th position there. Lucifer will have fresher tyres than on this final lap then. Jay Higgs is next then up the road. Well, Lucifer's actually got no penalty then since we last seen him, but he's going for it, and of course he does have fresher tyres, doesn't he, Lucifer? And through he goes up into 11th position. Doesn't those two cars look very similar then? Perhaps not. It's just me getting old, I think, isn't it? Now climbing up the hill. This is to 11th position now. So Luke might be able to propel himself right up the order here. But here comes Troy then out of the second Ravazza, and he is going to win his 3rd race of his Formula 2 season and campaign. He wins here in Imola with a great drive indeed then, with Toy Coin in second position there. And it was the undercut today which very much I think won him the race there. That Knowlesy will be finishing in a very fine 5th position there. Serious Bush is going to have to get the very defensive Ferriston from Jinner, but I think that it's going to be too little too late there for Jinner. But we'll just take a look to see what this I think that the battles have kind of dried out, haven't they, really? So it's rushing out fast. He's going to be kicking himself much from his area, because Luke has actually propelled himself right up into 7th position there. Good stuff indeed there. Lucifer does get that final. No, he doesn't. It's Reflection who sneaks into the points there. MP Motorsport would have been hoping for more, as Jinner has left the session, but where did he finish? I don't know. He did finish in the points nonetheless. I'd like to say, let's go. Troy, 3rd race win of the season there for himself and for Cardine. Now Cardine gets driver of the day. Lights is currently winning the vote for driver of the day in the comments. Get your votes in as well, ASAP. Nope, Farfus close the votes, and that's it, done and dusted. Lights is the driver of the day. Shut your mouth, Sean. Go to bed. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'll go hibernate, ready for Spain in a couple of days time, of course. Looking forward to Spain. They've got rid of that Mickey Mouse chicane now, haven't they? So they're now only a 14 turn course, which is good for me because I can only count up to 15, so that's good. And also, not only that, the final 2 course is going to be fascinating indeed. I'm looking forward to that. And it's gone back to the old configuration that before they started to amend the circuit back in 2006 and 7. But there are the drivers there on the podium there. We probably and of course let's get a final look at the classification from this feature race here in Imola. Troy, great drive today. Then of course it was all the top two was in a league of their own today, weren't they? It was all down to excuse me. It was all down to the pit stops, wasn't it, in the end there? And Joy pitted first, one lap earlier, and made that count, didn't he? But Toy Corn's very quick towards the end there, but just not quick enough. But once again, very impressive on his Formula 2, on his second Formula 2 appearance. Lights into a great recovery into third after him, Nightmare qualified. Beat in fourth, great stuff with Nosey fifth, Vester sixth, Luke seventh, Mushroom eighth, Lucifer ninth, and Kaidow 10th, and Martin 11th, Higgs 12th, Chewy 13th, Six Mug 14th, Jinner 15th, Reflection 16th, Vintage 17th, Retirements was Percy, Bannister, and Gamer all retired from this race. And Jinner actually finished, he finished in the points somewhere, but I have no idea where. And I must say, that was a very enthralling Formula 2 race, wasn't it? Very good stuff indeed. We will be back for the Spanish Grand Prix. The European season is very much getting well underway now, isn't it? Of course, we are in Barcelona next week. But, well, I say well into the European season well underway because then we actually fly across to Canada after Spain. Don't we? No Monaco this season in ALR, which I'm absolutely devastated by. But, of course, I think Formula 2 have actually Monaco, don't they? So that's going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? For the drivers then. For the drivers then potentially in Formula 2. Cannot wait for that one. But that's just what is coming up. But before we go through any of that, Troy is in the commentary box with me now. And Troy, your third race win of your Formula 2 career. And I must say it was very tense there. But talk us about your sprint race first there. Because you certainly had to work for I think you got on the podium at the end there in the sprint race. You certainly had to work for that one though.
Expected when you start in the middle of the field. I mean, I think it was a bit like crazy, to be honest. A lot of like pushing people off track and a lot of people thinking they could win the race on the first lap from like 15th or 12th position or whatever, in a sprint as well. I don't know. I think it's a bit unnecessary. I just like decided to at the end back off and just like get those positions back a bit further into that sprint race. Just wasn't enough for Lights, who got first, but apart from that, it was pretty good, I guess.
Talk us more about the racecraft on this game then, because we have heard that there's a lot more incidents on this game. Is it down to the characteristics of the cars, or are they more difficult to drive, or is it just the drivers there very much, as you said, trying to win the race in the opening lap?
I think it's a bit of both, to be honest. It's the characters of the cars and the characters of the drivers, some of them. And I think, like, on a game like this, with drivers like this, some of them, not all of them, of course, it could get tough, you know. But that's what I'm trying to stay out of, and that's what won me the title last season, just stay out of trouble. And at the end of the day, like in the long run, maybe like being aggressive in that way, like could win you a race or two, but it doesn't win you championships, because you can't afford DNFing a lot of races. So at the end of the day, I'm still happy with like being kind of laid back on track and like let those guys do their thing, basically.
And then coming onto the feature race as well, you and Toy Coin, absolutely in a league of your own. Then you two just sprinted away in the opening stage of that Grand Prix. What was you thinking then? Of course, because if it was just you two going head to head, was you concerned about the drivers behind you, even though you were gapping them quite quickly? Was you concerned about anyone going for the overcut or the undercut? Sorry.
No, we had a pretty good gap to the car in third, so unless like they got like a 3-lap undercut or whatever, they wouldn't have catched up, I don't think. Like fair play as well, like Toyn Coin, he was not one of them drivers that was being overly aggressive and stuff, and we were actually fighting for the like feature win, and we were like very respectful on track. I had no issues with him whatsoever. So we had, yeah, I enjoyed our battle. We had like some very good battling, side by side battling into the first sector mainly. But yeah, it was really good. It came down mostly to strategy because as soon as I overtook him, I knew I had to box so he doesn't undercut me back. And the undercut is so powerful, so I kind of got out of the DRS gap just due to the undercut, really. So the strategy probably played a big part today, I guess.
It certainly did, because I was going to actually ask you, is that the moment of the race? But you've kind of just like answered my question straight away. And then, of course, with the final couple of laps to go, was you concerned about the super soft tires falling off, then, or did you do your homework? Were you not concerned by the tire life?
I was not too worried about my tires like dropping off. The biggest worry was probably Toin Coin because that one lap really especially towards the end of the race in F2, like it really does make a difference. So you could really tell like on the Delta that he was quicker than me towards the end of the race. But yeah, I didn't really have I didn't really have too much of an option. I had to go for the undercut because if I wouldn't have boxed that lap, he mostly would have, or like most likely would have boxed, which would have meant that he would have re-overtook me again, and I had to get past him again, which I didn't really want because it was quite a struggle. It took me quite a lot, more than half of the race, I believe. So yeah, I was happy about having slightly older tires, if that meant that I had the track position, to be honest.
Really good stuff. So they want to enjoy your third race win of the season. You're second in the feature, I think, and one in the sprint. Lovely stuff indeed. And I think Troy is the only one who wants to talk to me tonight, which I don't blame the rest of the drivers. Goodness gracious me, they've heard enough of me this week, haven't they? Talking of which, we are back in action in Barcelona in a couple of days' time for gold, silver, and bronze, and F2 as well. I look forward to that. The European season is very much in full swing, isn't it? There, it's going to be a cracking race, and we're back to the old school layout of Barcelona, which I absolutely love. Turn 13 and 14. Oh, that's going to be monstrous, isn't it? Cannot wait then. See you Sunday for gold. As